I'm joined by Kyle Balgames. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian DeMars.
Zach Allen. I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counter-Attack here, Ari Lax.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Making Magic Happen, brought to you by RW Hives and Games, Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, and today we're playing some modern Goblins. I want to try out some new cards from Zendikar. I picked Agadeem's Awakening as one of the better cards for Goblins. It's really interesting when you have a 2-card combo you can get back that wins the game. Now this one, I need to have a Chieftain in play to win the game on the spot, but just getting him back is good. And also, like, this just has a value plan in games that go later. Like, I'm trying to grind you up with Sling-Gangs and Goblin ringleaders and matron tutoring for them. And Agadeem's Awakening is awesome in kind of both of those scenarios. It just, when I don't need it to bring anything back, it's just a land. So it's just free to put in the deck. And when I go late game, I can just trade off left and right, make like kind of bad sacrifices with Sling-Gang, and then just get all of them back when I have enough mana. Now, full disclosure, the front side does cost you 3 life, which isn't that much by itself, but when you add up Bloodstained Mire, Blood Crypt, also dealing you damage, Agadeem's Awakening gets a little tighter, I guess I'd say. So, with the metagame being very, very prevalent right now, I tried to skirk Prospector build already because it seemed like it comboed with Awakening. I didn't find it to be very good. It was, you had a little bit of trouble getting enough resources when these just kept dying. So I'd rather just have like a Blood Chief's Thirst and some Thought Seizes to kind of slow down the game and just naturally draw enough lands that I can cast this, or just play it as a land when I need to, which is totally fine too. Actually, the more I look at this, I kind of want to cut a Blood Crypt. I'm not going to, though. But yeah, so that's what we got in the main deck. I'm trying to use Agadeem's Awakening the best I can. And in the sideboard, I've given up on the Chalices. I think Blood Chief's Thirst is going to be very, very good. One of the toughest cards for this deck to beat was Renin 6, and this just being a clean answer is really good, but also just always kills the prowess creatures, which are kind of the problem for this deck. And post-board, I get to bring in 3 more Fatal Pushes. I now think this deck might have enough removal to kill Prowess's threats, and if that's the case, then I can just pretty reliably, trade with their threats, let them burn out my creatures, and then win either with Agadeem's Awakening or just Sling-Gang Ringleader, like, outvaluing them. I think that's going to be a solid way to go here. Rest of the sideboard, I'm trying out some Thoughtseize and Duresses as additional help against spell decks. I've heard there's Belcher going around, there is some like weird dredge decks, and like even when you just play against control, like the Uro decks, like, have counter spells and they can be pretty good against you, and taking a Cryptic Command can be pretty strong. So I have some extra 1-mana disruption just because I'm kind of scared of those decks. Only 1 Boil. I think the Duresses kind of cover the same slot. I've got 3 Cleansing Wildfires instead of the Blood Moons I was playing. One, because I don't have that many black sources under a Blood Moon anymore because of Agadeem's Awakening, so I'm a little skeptical of my ability to even play it with this deck. And Cleansing Wildfire is just better on curve anyway. You will play the Snoop on turn 2, but if you don't have the Snoop, you don't really want to play the Munitions Expert, and outside of that, I just have him on War Marshal. So it's actually a lot better for me to use turn 2 to kill a Tron land, and then cast a good 3-drop on 3, or even like Violin the Snoop on 3, and try and like hit or spike a Goblin on top of your library, get a card draw. And I'm trying out a Chain Whirler. I don't know how good it is. I was pretty impressed with it in the last league, and I kind of like the idea of being able to bring back a Chain Whirler and a Munitions Expert with Agadeem's to kind of deal with an opponent's board that got a little out of control. And it's the 1/1 weirding tutor 4. In case we play against Boggles. Can't have Boggles-Tron beating us ever. Not happening. Prepared for it at all times. All right, let's battle a little bit. All right, this hand looks a little loose, but I actually think it's good. It has 3 lands. I can easily just play Agadeem's tapped on turn 1. I got removal spells. They're not great initially, but they are actually real bodies because of Chieftain, so I think this is a keep. Alright, getting Thoughtseize. Could be a mirror. Probably a prowess deck, if we're being honest. Maybe not a pro. It could also be Jund. Could also be Jund. Jund would definitely go black losing a Thoughtseize, so just gonna have to keep an eye out. Alright, Ringleader's gone. Makes me think it's Jund then. A prowess deck would never have done that. Alright, I do think I play this and I play it tapped. I would have liked to have drawn a different land there so that I wouldn't have had to get this into play tapped. But I am curving out pretty far here. Matron just kind of is another Ringleader, so yeah, get to get that and keep going. I just want to get my lands in play. Alright, opponent's got a pretty big Joyf here. It's a little annoying. Ooh, drew the Snoop too, got max punished. That's alright. Guess I should have led with Blood Crypt there. Learning curve for the deck, apparently. I do kind of know that. I'm actually playing some Graven Karens in the mana base to be able to cast the black side of this, but also to let this cast Snoop. And yeah, I don't know. Kind of wish I had it, I guess. Thoughtseize me. Alright, well, I imagine my Snoop or my Matron's gone here. Seems like the best thing to take. Yeah, definitely Snoop. Leaving Matron's good for me, though. Scoos. I don't like Scoos. If I want to kill any of this stuff, I kind of need to Munitions Expert now. It is unfortunate for sure, but it's kind of where I'm at. Ooh. Well, now that I do Skirk, I really wish I hadn't played that, but such is life. Let's get the Scoos out of here. The Goyf is good, certainly, but Scavenger is gaining them life when they're already at 12, and I've got Sling-Gang in my deck. I think is overall worse for me. I can do some sacrifice and blocks. Oh, I should have attacked with munitions. That was bad. I missed it. Yeah, I can chump it for a little while, be mostly okay with it. I don't even need to block this turn. I'm still at 15. Alright, well, Inquisition's really good. That makes me wish I had played the Matron, but here we are. Opponents had 2 cards. I don't think they even have good attacks. They're just losing this race, mostly. Alright. Chieftain's not bad. I will take a Chieftain. So I can attack here. It gets in 2 points of damage, but I think it's bad. I think it's very, very likely they have a removal spell. If I knew they didn't, I would trade one of these, I think. But given the likelihood that they have a removal, I don't want to risk it there. I'm happy to do it next turn, though, when I get way more damage through. Alright, well, that actually kind of worked out for me. I guess they had the removal spell, but it was sorcery speed, and I should have attacked. Still, opponent's got a Nurturing Peatland in play and needs it for mana. Ooh, that's actually a very good draw. I do think I play this. I think I just want to draw a Ringleader. So if I draw land, I can cast Ringleader and get some more spells. If I don't draw land, I can Chieftain and attack for 6. Both seem like fairly decent options. I think it's pretty likely the opponent has at least 1 4-drop in hand. I would not be shocked if they had 2, like just chilling on 2 Bloodbraids. Alright, Lily's good, but not spectacular. What do I want to discard here? Opponent's getting pretty low. And if I miss my land drop, I get really punished for discarding this instead of this one. But if I were to hit my land drop, this is much better. I just have Skirk. I think I should just discard Chieftain. I think that's obvious, actually. Note, I could cast an Agadeem's here because of Skirk, which is at least decent for me. If I drew one, I can sacrifice... Well, really, I can sacrifice 4 things. Ooh. Is that good? I think it's still overall worse than just playing Ringleader. Yeah, I think it's overall worse than playing Ringleader. I do think I'm supposed to sacrifice Munitions Expert, though. Don't want to whiff. I've drawn a little spell heavy here, so there's a more decent chance I whiff. I'm hoping that... Yeah, okay. That's perfect. Oh, man, that was worst case scenario there by a lot. Well, now I am very scared of opponent hitting this land drop. Losing this is not the end of the world, but it's certainly not great either. Kiki. I don't actually hate that. What am I sacking? Would I rather have the matron in play? I think I would rather have the matron. I think that's close, though. No, I think munitions expert's better. I have more matrons I can draw. All right. I'm going to sacrifice this. Sacrifice this. Red, black. Removal here would be pretty unfortunate, but it can't be abrupt decay or push, at least if I do it on ringleader. And that gets me some more cards. It also gives me an attack on Lily, although I don't really think I want it. Okay, they had the trophy. And they're hitting ringleader. Interesting. I guess I already have triple black, so red's probably slightly better. Well, now I'm upset I used the Kiki, or I used the matron instead of the munitions expert, but I think it's okay. My read of opponent probably has a 4-drop did not feel, or obviously was not correct, so. Target player sacrifices a creature. I do think I'm supposed to sack munitions expert. It's much worse than a Kiki. Oh, matron is nice. Yeah, that was just about perfect. Really need to hit a creature there to be able to beat this Lily, and given that I did, I think I'm in a great spot. I do think I am supposed to get a War Marshal. I'm gonna have to discard probably, unless if they go to sack, I'm just gonna copy matron, which is a little risky, but I think it's right. Ugh, Wrenn and 6. Do not love that. Well, we do at least know the rest of, like, opponent has no cards in hand, so we know what we're playing around. And given that, I think I'm mostly protected from Liliana if I get another ringleader. I'm just going to discard this War Marshal. They can minus, but I'll sack the token and take 4. That's not the end of the world. Okay. I mean, they do kind of have to plow through that, but I'm going to get to start ringleadering, which is going to be probably too much, I would guess. Alright, still just want to get the ringleader in play. Almost certainly going to play that tapped, but it is what it is. I'm not going to attack. I'm going to do the same thing I did last turn. Oh man, that is an awesome, awesome set of draws. Yeah, I mean, I just have so many things. I definitely want to play this tapped. Opponent can't Wrenn anything right now, so they're probably getting back a land and, like, maybe attacking with Raging Ravine, but I really don't love their spot. When I get the Sling-Gang in play, it's going to be trouble. I can copy it with Kiki. They need a removal spell for Kiki's stat. Alright, getting back to Peatland makes sense. Need to get some value here. Probably still better for me than attacking, honestly. Like, I have inevitability here, so me... definitely the War Marshal. I think it's the worst card in this hand by quite a bit. Everything else is like a good value card. The second worst one is definitely Kiki, but I want this because this one's so good that if they... Like, I don't think I can lose with it in play. So if they kill it, I just want to put it back in play. It doesn't mean combos offline, but Snoop's still a fine card just to have in play. It's still like a weird experimental frenzy. Alright. Opponent dies to the Kiki ringleader shenanigans. Alright, post board. I do actually like push against them. I think it's better than Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is okay, but kind of a bad top deck. I also think Skirk is really bad when they have Wrenn and 6. I don't really want that. I'm happy with the Chain Whirler, though. It's just a body that can kind of rumble. And I think that's good. I don't really want to change anything else. Yeah, works for me. Alright, got a Vial. Got some good aggro cards. Can't cast the Chain Whirler. It's a little rough. I do have the Graven Cairns to help with that. Alright, I imagine my Vial's gone here. Seems fairly likely. Although there is definitely an argument for taking the Ringleader out of this hand. Nope, yeah, Vial. Just kind of gimp my development. Makes sense. I guess I'm going to play Agadeem. It costs more life, so getting him to play tapped above Blood Crypt does make sense from that perspective. If I had Snoop in my hand, I would have definitely played Blood Crypt, and if I draw Snoop, I'll be sad, but one life can matter. Oh man, well, not going to be able to play the Chain Whirler for a minute. That's kind of unfortunate. Alright, still going to play this tapped. Opponent is already at 14. They are using this Peat Land. Bob is going to deal them some amount of damage, and I am a Sling... Okay, well, they just hit the forest. Fair enough. Oh no, they hit Swamp and played Swamp. That makes sense. The Scoo's main. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think easy Matron here. Probably supposed to get a Munitions Expert. Could also see another Ringleader. I think that would be fine. I think I'd rather... No, I'm going to get a Ringleader. I kind of want to just start having this chain happening. I think that's how I'm going to beat this Bob, is to just overwhelm it with card advantage. Opponent's doing a good job hitting basics off Bob, man. That's rough for me. Hoping this thing would deal some damage. I guess not. Alright, Ren and 6 is pretty bad. They at least don't have a fetch land yet, so I do have that going for me. The Scoos is not going to be a 3-3, but I get to kill Bob and put Ren to 1. Which means there's a chance I can have Ringleader attacks. I don't know. Seems somewhat interesting. I also could just play... Oh, well, now that I drew Vial, I'm definitely going to play... I was thinking Ringleader still might have been better, but given I drew Vial, I think I'd rather get that going for the Ringleaders so that I can, play them and put something in play at the same time. But I just want to get Bob off the table. We're actually even on cards right now. I mean, opponent is certainly winning, but it's pretty close. We are up on life. I don't know. Alright. Given that I got bolted, that's not great, but I still think I'm in decent shape. The Scoos is going to start going a little crazy here in a bit. But if it does, they're at least investing mana. Alright, Pyro to get value off Ren. A little annoying. Ooh, and they got to pitch another Ren. That's pretty good for them. Sorry if you can hear snoring in the background. That's Claire. She came to watch the video, and I guess it wasn't entertaining enough. Alright. I can always yield to this. Ooh, Munitions Expert's actually good. So... I do get to kill Ren if I hit Pyromancer and Ringlead. It seems like the best use of my mana, honestly. Or Chieftain, I mean. This is still a good turn. I'm obviously not dealing with the Scoos, but it's going to take a minute to be able to deal with that anyway. And getting Ren off the table when they just pitched a Ren seems pretty good to me. Think I'm supposed to go in. It would have been. I could have saved this obviously to use next turn with the vial, but there's a decent. I get to look at 5 cards. There's a decent chance I draw a 2-drop, and I think using my mana when I'm behind here is gonna be pretty important. So Ren got the opponent value. It killed a thing and drew a land, which is good for them, but if they're starting their turn cracking a peat land, it's not like the worst for me. Alright, push the chieftain, makes sense. Maybe that's why they cracked the peat land, was they had a land and just needed a revolt there. I can buy that. Alright, opponent's clock is starting to get a little scary. Think it might be time to play defensive, which... Oh, now it definitely is. Holy cow. Opponent's got some monsters over there. Ooh, Sling-Gang is actually very good. I do think I'm supposed to lead on Sling-Gang. That seems the best to me. If the opponent can kill it, that's bad, but it mostly guarantees I survive this turn, which is pretty nice. And I can kind of get the drain going. It's tough against the Skoos, because every time you sack something, they get to gain a life back pretty much. But I definitely need to play defensive here. I don't think I'm winning a game where I get really offensive. Alright. I do think I'm supposed to kill the 1/1. No, maybe not. Maybe I'm just on this straight-up drain plan. I could actually buy that. No, that's not going to work. Alright, I will trade with the 1/1, I guess. Not taking damage here. Hopefully it gets untapped with a Sling-Gang. That's kind of where we're at. Another Skoos. Okay. That's not actually that bad for me. Definitely a card that gets worse in multiples. Okay. So I'm going to play that. I can get a 2-drop and a 3-drop here, which is pretty nice. I just hit a 5. That's not great. That is really not great. I was really hoping I would hit basically anything else there. Oh, now I think I'm actually just dead, right? I can block this and they just eat enough things with Skoos and kill me. Yeah. Alright, that's a tough loss. Still don't think I really want to change anything. I think I'm mostly in a good spot. I think opponent just had a really good start there with some discard spells that hit. I had a pretty slow start. My vial got taken. Alright, get to play on round 3. So a good 7 here. This is a good 7. We'll keep this. A little slow, but you don't really want to mulligan hands to start on Vial. And despite, I mean, we are a little color screwed. We can't cast like a Fatal Push here, but we also don't have any of those in our hand, which is mostly fine. We can play all our Goblins, which is what this hand will draw, is more Goblins, so... This is definitely the type of hand where you play a War Marshal and pay for Echo too, especially against Jund, where Ren and 6 is gonna take stuff or pick stuff off. Ooh, Auntie's Hobble's not bad either. I'm going to get that in play and play the Mog War Marshal. And like I said, probably paying for Echo here. I guess opponent could kill it, and then obviously I wouldn't, but given all other scenarios, I think it's right. Scoos again. Okay, I mean, that's good. Yes. Okay. Snoop is like one of the few draws that would make me pretty upset about paying for it, but I still think it's totally fine. I'm going to name Goblin. Okay. Definitely going to Vial the Snoop in end of turn. Don't want to expose it. If I hit Harbinger here, okay, that's a problem. That one there, that is a problem. Makes paying for War Marshal look pretty bad. I can't even like flash in to get the Scoos here. That is not good. Well, gonna need an answer to that pretty quick, or we will die. Okay, drawing Chieftain. That's actually not bad. Ooh. Munitions Expert is excellent. Alright, we can actually delay the Ringleader here, get this Plague Engineer off the table, and use the Chieftain. Our top of our library delivered there, let me tell you what. Well, this doesn't work with that. Oh, that's interesting. I think I make red red. And tap this one for black. Alright, it's close to being able to use it. Couldn't quite. It's alright. And Chieftain was a huge draw there. That was nice. Needed that. And now we're kind of winning the race. Opponent can eat stuff with their Scoos, but if they're using their mana to do that, that's excellent for us. And we have gas for days here. We've got good mana too. Alright, Bolt the Snoop. That makes sense, but my Chieftain's still in play. I'm going to have a lot of damage coming at the opponent here. Alright, let's see what Ringleader hits. One Mog War Marshal, that's not ideal. Would have liked a Blood Chief's Thirst, but it's fine. And it is more mana efficient to play the Ringleader, but I think it's still going to be better to play the Matron because I get more mana out of my Aether Vial next turn that way. I mean, I could get a 4-drop, but I can do this anyway next turn, so I think this is fine. Ooh, Munitions Expert's a pretty good draw, actually. I don't hate that. I still think I'm supposed to Sling-Gang, though. It seems so much better to me. Alright, not going to attack. Opponent can eat stuff and eat any of my attackers. There is 3 creatures in the yard right now, so would not be a great attack from my spot. Alright, well, now I'm definitely not attacking. That would be a disaster. And the Scoos is going to be a problem. I mean, that much is pretty clear. But we've got Blood Chief's Thirst in our deck. I think I boarded in the Fatal Pushes. I did. I got Fatal Pushes in. I've got 6 kill spells. One of them is in the bottom 3 cards of my library. I know from the last Ringleader, but still 5 left to draw. Again, if opponent's cracking Peatlands, that's excellent for me. I guess they could be flooding. Alright, not taking this up anymore. Ooh, Matron's another pretty good draw. Alright, let's start with Ringleader again. See what we had here. Munitions Expert. That's not terrible. So at most, this can be a 6/6 this turn, which works like this. Get to play my War Marshal, and even if they have a bolt, I will have 7 goblins, so I'm gonna get to kill this Scooz, which is pretty nice. And then we've got a pretty good attack. Get in for a decent chunk of damage. Kind of feels like opponent's hand was pretty all in on the Plague Engineer. They haven't had great turns since. Ooh, I'll take more mana too. That's actually fine. I guess no. If I get red, I already have triple black because of Graven Cairn, so red's probably slightly better. Well, opponent needs another kill spell here, and even then the ooze is dying, and they're going to. Okay, yeah, opponent's in a bad spot. Sling-Gang is basically just lethal next turn, and I effectively have 2 copies of Sling-Gang in my hand. So yeah, gonna be tough for opponent here. Note, I am probably supposed to pay for Echo depending on what happens here, but probably supposed to pay for Echo. Plague Engineer would beat me here, I think. Well, it doesn't beat me, but ooh, that's tough. 4 life, way behind on board, playing a Bob. I mean, they're just dead to the board here, which is the case. Yep, yeah. All right, fair enough. We get it. All right, this hand looks pretty good. Got Vial into Thoughtseize. That actually means I can get a Swamp here and still play my Snoop next turn. I don't actually hate that. Probably still not playing Snoop though. Chef of Dooms makes me think Leonin Arbiters, so I'm gonna play around that, crack my fetch now, and get Vial in play. And I can Thoughtseize next turn. Opponent might be able to get like a Leonin in play, but I at least got my fetch out of the way. I don't have that many like fetch things that actually hurt me. Alright. Actually gonna have to play that if I want to Thoughtseize. And I do want to Thoughtseize now, just maybe try and disrupt a curve out. Okay, Skyclave is gonna hit my Vial, and that's really bad for me. Still think this is the thing to take, although maybe I'm supposed to take the Flicker Wisp? Unsure. I still think overall this should be a pretty good matchup for me. I mean, obviously losing my Vial here is going to be pretty bad, but it is what it is. Alright, Ringleader was an excellent draw. I think I want to play Mog War Marshal here. Get to play a tapped Blood Crypt. Not going to pay. Would much rather use my mana effectively. But I do get a free chump here. I actually would offer a trade, even though I think they're pretty likely to Flicker Wisp maybe this and hit this, but I mean, it basically ends the same way. I'm left with 2 1/1s. One's just not a goblin. I mean, they could just hit this and it's kind of the same. Yeah. Doesn't mean I get a free chump here, but not the end of the world. Opponent is taking a decent amount of damage, which is good for me. So Scavenger Grounds is gone. They still have Sunbaked Canyon, and I don't know the other 2 cards. Alright, Canyon's gone, so we don't know anything about their hand. Ooh, another Mog War Marshal is pretty good. Still think I'd rather play... think I'd rather play Sling-Gang, although Flickerwisp would be excellent here. Or, not Flickerwisp, Munitions Expert, so Ringleader makes some sense. But I think this is slightly better for me. Get this in play first, and then make it so they have a really hard time in combat. So they've already used up a decent amount of the removal. I mean, another Blink effect would effectively kill this, but I can sack if I want to. Yeah, losing that Vial is brutal. Alright, Path is kind of annoying, but I'm also definitely supposed to take the mana here, I believe. Already got triple black, so that seems fine. I will just take 5. This Flickerwisp could become an issue, but I think I'm going to get a spot to use it in a way that works, I guess. Ooh, Archon of Emeria, huh? Alright, well now the flyers are kind of a problem. Can I race? If I start the turn with Snoop, where does that get me? Gives me outs to combo next turn, and they have no cards, so they don't necessarily have removal. That doesn't seem terrible. Alright, let's start with Snoop. Oh, Sling-Gang on top is dece. That is very dece. Oh, I can't cast it. Alright, well that's fine. I forgot about this, but I can just cast this on their turn. It's not the end of the world. I do miss out on an attack, so I should have done it the other way, but that's fine. I could also just hit Flickerwisp. I think that's actually... that kind of makes sense. Yeah, let's do that. It actually makes the clock slower. I think that's going to be slightly better. Alright. Sling-Gang on top puts me in a really good spot. Opponent's honestly like kind of close to dying already. It's effectively 8. Alright. Oh, that's actually kind of annoying. Can't really do anything with the mana. Question is, do I want to sack like a Goblin? 7 kind of matters, but like, no, I guess 7 does matter. I guess chumping's the same, almost the same thing. It's just not a drain. All right. I will sack 1. And if there's a Munitions Expert on top of my library, I will at least be able to cast it. I'm going to get a Swamp here, I guess. Okay, no Munitions Expert, but that is combo, so now I can just chump and win. We will take that. Yeah, now they know they gotta look for Path to Exile, basically. Alright. So if they drew the path there, that's pretty bad for me. They also probably would have cracked if they had the path already, given that they know they have to use it. So like using the other 2 mana in an effective way makes sense. This is not by any means a guarantee, but I'm definitely going to take that sweet value first, though. You better believe. Sweet, sweet value. I can't play my spell. No, I tricked myself. Why? Why did we play the sweet value? Well, now we are definitely immune from Path, given that I have 2, but that was really dumb. Just totally forgot. I keep thinking this is non-creature. That's terrible. More than one spell. Yikes. That's not good. Alright. So opponent does tap out to play something here. We killed him, which is good. Alright, I'm just... Oh, that enters tapped. Well, whatever. I'm playing the thing anyway. That did not change. So now that I have two... Like, I effectively get double Kiki here. This can't be broken up with path because I can always respond to it. They need two paths here to break up the combo from this point. Yeah, okay. They have been shown the light via the Skyclave itself. All right. Let's get that sideboard going. So Thoughtseize is not bad. I definitely want push. Ooh, Chain Whirler also seems excellent here. Harbinger, I think, is good because they have a hard time with it. I think Thoughtseize is going to be generally not great. I'm going to cut the Skirk. I can also see cutting in Agadeems, but I like being able to play 24 lands and just have the ability to have a late game and just cast all my stuff. I think it's too good. Well, this hand's great. Oh, Matron's an excellent draw, too. Alright, I am going to play Antu's Hovel. Because I want to be able to cast a Snoop next turn if I draw it. Alright, opponent just not making plays. Fair enough. I could have a Leonin Arbiter. I think it's safer to play the Bloodstained and fetch. If they Leonin, I can push it. Okay, they didn't. Alright, well, given that they didn't... They might have been saving it for Matron, but I would have tried to ambush me there, I think. Alright, they just weren't. Fair enough. So what do we want here? It's definitely a Ringleader. I don't think it's close. Just want to be able to get more value if I need to. Although Chain Whirler would also be not terrible. The opponent had the Vial. They haven't done anything yet, which is a little scary, but not that big a deal. Alright, we're starting with a 3-drop. The Archon, and then they can't cast the spell. That's kind of awkward. I'm just going to play Goblin here. Oh, that enters tapped. Ooh, okay, well now we're going to do something different, I guess. Forgot about that. I can't kick it. Yeah, I guess I'm waiting. Still really not the end of the world. I can kill this at some point, which I probably will. I'm kind of hoping they play something here, a 2-drop that I can deal 2 damage to with munitions and untap in munitions again, but okay. Makes sense. Sword of Fire and Ice is pretty bad. I am just going to munitions here. If they have a Flicker Wisp, this is like a just absolute disaster for me. So they might. I guess I would... Yeah, I guess I'd like just... Oh, I can't even push because of this. That is terrible for me. Oh. Yeah, that's also really bad for me now that I'm looking at this. Alright. Okay. Well, I do get to snoop here, which I think... No, I can't tap like that. I do get to snoop here and then kill this on opponent's turn, which is pretty good. Stayed on 3. Alright, I will respond now and get this off so that I don't get Flicker Wisp shenanigans in any sort of way. Do they have an instant speed trick? Oh my gosh, they have another path? Oh my god. I have played around this awfully. Twice I've been blown out by it. Sure. And another Skyclave. Hate it, but here we are. Man, Vile out of the opponent has been just absolutely backbreaking for me so far. Alright. We have to get this Archon of Emeria out of here. It's causing many problems. Ah, crap. Finally killed something. Despite our best efforts to never actually do that, we did manage to do that. I do think we're about to be in a lot of trouble. I'm kind of hoping they equip to the Stoneforge and I get to kill it. I think that's pretty unlikely, but kind of hoping that's the case. Alright, they made the right play. Good on them. Alright, I think I'm pretty dead here. We got outplayed horribly that game. It's on me. We did not play good. But it's okay. Vile in these mirrors is very, very important, obviously. And judging by that, I should have had the Trash Master in. We did not. That's not great, but we have it now, so we'll be alright. I honestly kind of wonder if I want Thoughtseize on the play. I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't think I do. I'm just going to cut a Chieftain. Chieftain as a Lord kind of gets replaced by Trash Master. This makes sense to me. Alright, I think this hand is good. I don't think it's great by any means, but if it draws a land or two, it'll be excellent. Do they have Vile again? Ugh, man, where's my Vile at? Alright, I'm going to get Snoop in play. Alright, land here is actually just very good. You want to get Snoop in play. It does kind of force opponent to answer it because it's just such a scary card. So they might path here, and that would be fine by me. I wanted the mana. Obviously, I'm drawing a land, so it's less important, but okay, that's fine. Ooh, drawing another land. I like it. So definitely going to just kill this Leona now before the shenanigans ensue. It will be shocking. Attack. Alright, we're going to try and go wide, get around them here. I'm going to put the War Marshal in play. Not going to pay for it. They have exile effects, so happily will not do that, but get the double spell next turn, hopefully. Ooh, Giver of Runes is a little bit annoying, but I'm out of removal now, so it's not the end of the world. Alright, not paying for this. No. Ooh, Agadeem's is nice. That is very good here. Let's do this. Oh, can't do that. We can do it like this, though. Alright, so not attacks this turn, but next turn I get some great attacks. Agadeem's is 2 mana away from being a spell. Right. Even Mind Sensor's not great here. I mean, it's fine from the opponent, but I'm not searching my library at the moment. It does turn off my tutors, which is a little annoying, but again, not the end of the world by any means. And we have good attacks now. Okay, I guess they don't want me to draw Agadeem's. Makes some sense. Oh my god, we hit a basic. We only got to look in our top 3 and we still hit. Let's go. Ooh, probably not going to hit on this one. Given that, I think I want just the land on top, honestly. Okay. Still not paying for Echo. Alright, Blood Chief's Thirst plays. Alright, let's get this guy in play. Ship some Tokes, and I guess I'm mostly safe to ship the 2 Snoops. I think I'm going to send everything. Not going to send the Chieftain. I'll send everything else, obviously. If they have, like, the Exile guy, it would be kind of bad, but if they don't, it's just really not the end of the world. If they're just, like, tap, give protection, that's, like, very good for me. Assume that's what's happening here. The opponent is now at 6, so we have a lot of really good hits. Ooh, that's actually kind of scary. But I think they're dead. Or at least mostly dead. I guess they need to have their other card in hand needs to be something good. What do I want to kill? I guess it makes the most sense to do this on Stoneforge. They obviously protect it, but then they have to do pro black, which none of my creatures are black, so then they either have to use another one to protect from my creatures. I think this is fine. They can't necessarily play the Batterskull next turn. They might have another land in hand. That's certainly possible, but... And now, unless they have exactly another creature, they're just dead? Is my read? A path would be horrible here for me. Okay, that's horrible. And I don't get to hit because of Mind Sensor, but I do get to shuffle my library and puts Kiki on top. Interesting. It's not a particularly good draw, but It is what it is. Yeah, this turn went real bad for me. Gonna be honest. Them having exactly the path there was horrible. Now they get to put a Batter Skull in play. It doesn't get to attack yet, but they do get to do that. Man, this Mind Sensor is brutal. Alright, so it is technically right for me to make a bunch of snoops in my upkeep, in the chance that opponent, or the card under this is Sling-Gang, then it's just lethal. It would also just be lethal to cast Sling-Gang, but here we are. Alright, I think that's enough. Ooh, Matron's excellent. Oh no. My Matron like barely works because of Avon. I was thinking of a line I could do here. This isn't great. I still think I can hit. I get to look for a Goblin in my top 4. I should hit. Chain Whirler. Oh, that one's pretty good. Harbinger just doesn't work with the Mind Sensor in play, which is really awkward. But I do like Chain Whirler. It's decent. I guess I definitely wasn't supposed to attack because of Batter Skull. Just gives him life. So this Bloodstained Mire is not super likely to hit a land, but if it did hit a land and I got to... no, that's not going to work, right? I guess I get to use it as a shuffle if I need to. Ugh. Alright. Sling-Gang not great anymore. Oh, Leonin's like horrible. Double Leonin, interesting. Oh, really not searching now. So this Bloodstained Mire looks horrible. Alright, that's also pretty bad, for being honest. Do get to put Chain Whirler in play, which is okay. Doesn't really accomplish very much. Everything over here is an X2, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. So I don't really know my outs. I need like a Sling-Gang on top of my library doesn't do it, right? Yeah, it's not quite there. I mean, it would keep me alive if the card under Hovel is Sling-Gang, but I'm still in a really bad spot. Yeah, basically just going to be lethal to almost everything opponent. They're going to die to almost everything opponent has here. Ooh. Oh, they get to activate Sheffet Dunes and I just die. Alright. Oh. White Weenie looking actually pretty strong there. Kind of impressed. Giver of Runes is a heck of a card. Yeah, the no searches, it turned out, was pretty bad. I only have 4 fetch lands, so it's not really like a good way to beat me from that perspective. Harbinger on top. Would it have hit? Ooh, I would have got to put a Sling-Gang on top. Alright, well, tough, but yeah, Giver was really good there. Again, I just kind of want more removal spells. It would have been like really good to have a couple more kill spells for Giver. Well, alright. Alright, back for round 3. 2-land hand with a Thoughtseize, a Violent, a Snoop. I'm definitely keeping this. Opponent mulliganed. So, like where I'm at, but I don't know. Have to see what they're playing. Alright, Inquisition was pretty bad for this hand, not gonna lie. If I draw a land, it works out, but losing this Vial's tough. I still think it was a keep, but yeah. Oh, they took the Thoughtseize? Well, makes me think they might have a Kolaghan's Command in their hand, but we'll see what happens. Alright, Vial's actually pretty good. Or Cavern's actually pretty good. It lets me Snoop next turn, I guess. Alright, I'll play the Goblin. And Vial. It does show him what I drew, but I think that's better than fetching because I actually want to hit lands with this hand. Just be able to cast my Snoop. And leaving the fetch uncracked means that I get to kind of like sculpt to the top of my library, I guess you'd say. It's a trophy on my Vial in the upkeep. Okay. I mean, that's fine. You don't love it, but it's fine. Sure. Alright, Ringleader next turn is actually excellent. But we get to control our draw steps, so let's do that. That's actually pretty good. Alright, I'm going to play this tapped. Don't want to fetch that away. I like to draw value cards against decks trying to trade with me. And if Snoop stays in play, obviously I can control my draw step next turn. This is like a creature. That's excellent for me. Ooh, another trophy. Okay. I mean, that's fine too. I'll take trophies. Ooh, that was supposed to probably be a mountain. Not huge deal, but I think that was probably supposed to be a mountain. It does mean I can cast Agadeems now, so I'm not far away from that. Maybe, no, that was probably supposed to be a swamp, actually. That was probably right. Ooh, Sling-Gang is an excellent draw. I do think I'm supposed to just ringlead here, though. I could fetch to thin, but again, I think I'm just going to leave the fetch uncracked this turn. Hit another ringleader. Alright, I mean, that's not amazing, but in terms of hits, that's not crazy. Like, obviously, I only hit one thing, but ringleaders, if you're only going to hit one thing, another ringleader is probably the best, so we'll take it. And I'm going to put this in play. Probably not fetching, although I do see an argument for getting a Blood Crypt end of turn, just so that I have good mana and I take less damage. My life total's probably at a good spot, though, so... Opponent's also missing lands, which is pretty relevant. Kind of seems like a bad keep from them, honestly, but it's what it is. Alright, so they've effectively stopped my combo, but... Alright, and also now that the Snoop's gone, I will fetch. I think it's pretty low cost at this point. Ooh, a Kiki? The only thing they probably have is a push. I actually kind of like getting the value with Kiki here. It's also more mana efficient. I think that's actually just right. Now they kind of need to deal with Kiki next turn, or they're in a lot of trouble. Oh man, we hit 4 things? That's insane. So I actually do have combo next turn. I can play Snoop, copy it with Kiki so that the copy has haste, and then play Bogart, put another Kiki on top, use the copy to copy itself, and actually go off. I would need opponent to tap out and not deal with Kiki for that to happen. I mean, I don't need them to tap out, but I would like for them to cast a creature if I was going to go for that, something like that. But it does kind of feel like they're in a spot where I mean, they're just getting buried. There's just no way here for them. Yeah, let's, man, so many things I can do here. My hand is so full. I think... Huh. Tough turn. I think what I'm supposed to do is put Snoop in play. I can do like a delayed combo here. So I'm going to put Harbinger in play, put Kiki on top, and then not try to combo until they do something. And otherwise I'm going to do it in my upkeep, and then I have Sling-Gang for lethal. Alright, they're just done. Fair enough. Alright, so post-board against them. I still like pushes. And I still don't love Thoughtseizes. Thoughtseizes are okay. I also really don't like Trashman, or Skirk. It's just not good against Jund. I think there's an argument for Weirding and Chain Whirler. Chain Whirler only if I really saw Bob, though. I'm going to bring in the Weirding. Does make their Goyfs pretty big, which is kind of annoying, but it also kills the Goyf. They don't usually have more than one creature in play, so I think it's overall fine. I think this is a keep. I have a turn 1 Vial. I've got 2 good removal spells. I can cast them. I think it's a pretty easy keep. I've got an Agadeem, which isn't great yet, but could be good value later. Probably going to play this one, but... Alright, that was a very good draw. I'm going to put the Wog More Marshal in play. More! Would not mind if they played a Wren here. Basically, any 2-drop would be good for me. But the thing I don't really want to see is discard spells here. Not that they're not beatable, they certainly are, but something I can use one of these on would be good. Alright, they're just not playing anything. Fair enough. So they probably have a removal spell. If they trophy this again, I'm just totally fine with that. We're getting out of the upkeep. Kiki is not a great draw. It's actually pretty bad, but it's okay. I'm playing that over this because next turn I can Bloodchief's Thirst if I want to. I can pay for this and Bloodchief's Thirst, which I think is fine. I think that's going to be somewhat likely that that's what I do. Alright, looks like they're finally playing something. Hope it's not a Plague Engineer, although it wouldn't be the end of the world. I could deal with it. Although Plague Engineer would be annoying, not gonna lie. Alright. Alright, so I am going to pay for Echo. That is my plan here. I like to always yield to that. K command here. Feels like a K command. I think that's fine though. Alright, discarding probably Kiki. This is so far away from being realistic at this point. And I'm not going to pay for this now. Okay, Snoop's actually not a bad draw. Question is, do I want to play Snoop in a tap land, or do I want a Matron? I think Snoop is going to be slightly better. So yep, pretty good spot. Hoping there's a Goblin under here and my Snoop doesn't die, obviously, but Snoop usually does die, so we'll see what happens. Alright, Goif is actually good. Anything they spend their mana on I get to trade with, I will take all day. Ooh, Sling-Gang's excellent. I'm just going to play that. Just get the value while the value is there to get. Alright, we're going to push the Snoop. That makes sense, but do get a Sling-Gang. Obviously, Plague Engineer would be a disaster for me. Don't want to see that. I do get to drain them for a decent amount, which is good, but yeah, Plague Engineer is just always going to kind of be a disaster. I can kill it now, which makes it not the end of the world, but yeah, not something this deck ever wants to see, if we're being honest. Alright, it's not a Plague Engineer. It's not a Plague Engineer. It's some sort of 2-drop thing. Could terminate on my Sling-Gang, maybe. Maybe like a Dismember? No, Collective Brutality. Pitching Bloodbraid. Interesting. Right, I mean, I will sack it to itself. Yeah, I mean, they get to take one of these, but either way, I get to have Matron plus Kill Spell next turn for Goif. I guess if they had another discard spell, I wouldn't, but pretty good spot. They should definitely attack here, and there's no way I'm blocking. I got some decent peck damage coming in. Yep. And now, I mean, now I'm putting myself really soft to Plague Engineer, but I mean, here we are. If the opponent has it and they haven't played it yet, it's good on them. I definitely want a Ringleader here, though. I'm going to play that tapped, and then let's attack. If they don't have Plague Engineer, I do think they're going to have a tough time. I mean, something like a Lily here, make me discard, would be okay, but they're missing mana, and Lily plusing, making me discard, just leaves me with a good board. I get to take care of it and still have a pretty nice board. It's definitely not the end of the world. They do something like play another Trophy my Matron. Wow, that's excellent for me. I'll take that every day of the week. Now Agadeem's is actually like a pretty insane draw. I get to get back 2 things. If I draw another land and then an Agadeem's, it's just straight money. Right, perfect. Gonna lead the rings here. Depending on what I hit, I might shock. We'll find out. Alright, did not hit very well there. It's alright. Still gonna bash. Yeah, now I actually have 7 mana, and Agadeem's would be insane. I think it's just lethal. I guess I don't have a 3 in my graveyard. No, there's a Matron. Yeah, I get Matron, Sling-Gang, Snoop, and the game's over. Alright. Alright, back for round 4. How do you feel about this? Seems good. It's got a hidden land here, so actually strong. Yep. High to a good game. Alright, well. I am also wishing for a good game, opponent. I am going to lead on Agadeem's. Obviously, I can't play Snoop if I draw it, which is somewhat of a downside because of Harbinger, but it just saves me enough life that I think it's worth it. Again, if I had Snoop in my hand, I obviously would be playing one of these lands, but I think given that I don't, this is fine. Alright, is it prowess or shadow? Could still be either. I'm guessing shadow, but let's see. Prowess would have played something. So probably shadow. I'm going to reveal my Wog More Marshal. Get him in there. Opponent left the removal spell there, sad. That's fine. Alright, looks like Grixis. I guess... I don't know, maybe the Thought Scour here? Probably Grixis, yeah. Alright, this makes sense. Mill to push. That's probably good for me. I don't know. So definitely trying to go Chieftain and a Sling-Gang here. But if I drew like a Matron, I'd probably play that next turn. Alright, well, I'm going to play one of these 3 drops next turn, and one of them is going to the graveyard. I assume you're taking Chieftain? This is just so much damage. But... I mean, this will get Ringleader, which is also like pretty bad for them. So, yeah, I mean, both of these are great. This is a good hand. I mean, that's why I kept it. Alright, they took the Chieftain. Makes sense. Definitely an interesting decision, though. Feels like... Alright, maybe Gurmag here? Maybe that's what was happening. They're trying to figure out if they could really, like, realistically block. If that was an avenue. Alright. Grammaggio. I am not going to pay. Ooh, Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is not bad. But still I'm going to fetch a Blood Crypt here and play Harbinier. Could have gone with Mountain. I did it so that I'd have triple black for future Agadeems, but I think it's fine. So Shadow has a really hard time with my deck unless they actually have TBR, but Opponent doesn't have red mana yet. They probably do have access to red. They fetched and didn't get it, so it makes sense to me that they would have access to it. I do think I'm supposed to wait here. It's just worth an extra life point if I wait and use it with Sling-Gang. Man, opponent's in the tank. What do you got? So we did have access to red. Are we fetch shocking and playing shadow? Would not be shocked if opponent has something like a stubborn denial in their hand. Maybe a snapcaster. Alright, we got a Shadow. That is definitely scary, but still beatable. I do just want to ring lead here. Just start getting more value. I kind of want to Thought Seize the next turn. Oh, this was a great hit here. So, kind of really hoping to draw land. I'd like to Thought Seize plus Sling-Gang next turn. Cling to Dust my Bloodstained Mire, sure. Definitely don't want to hit one of my creatures there. That would not have worked the way they wanted it to. So opponent definitely had, I mean, they had the first Fatal Push, but they haven't had much removal outside of that. I still think it's pretty likely they have something like a Stub in their hand. Do I beat TBR with a block? I would actually go to 1, but do I win? I probably wouldn't win. I guess I could play Sling-Gang. No, I think I am supposed to block Gurmag. Or you know what? I probably am actually supposed to put Harbinger on Shadow if they attack. And then if they have a Battle Rage, I don't die, but it also forces them to have something to keep the Shadow alive. That's probably the best block there. Very thoughtful Shadow player. Alright, what are we doing, opponent? Pop and Bobble. Fair enough. Anything else? Yes? No? I might time out Death Shadow. Gonna play deliberately. Alright, well now my blocks are not good and I just died at TBR. Now I way died at TBR. If they have Team or Battle Rage, I cannot win. They targeted themselves with Bobble, though, which is leading me to think they maybe don't have it. So let's say they made that 7. I guess this is a force block because they're actually presenting lethal. All right, fine. No, I should block this Shadow. I'm dead to TBR no matter what. If they have it, I'm dead. And that would be unfortunate, but... Failed to find? What? I was still dead to TBR. It's weird they failed to find. Alright, I don't know how this was a turn we needed to think about, but here we are. Went in the tank 5 minutes, came out with, yeah, you're tapped out, I'm going to Splinter Twin you. But here we go. It's alright, we got pushes next game. I still don't like Thoughtseize, despite them killing me with TBR. I think it's just fine not to have. You know what? I actually think I will bring back in Thoughtseize. I think I'm going to cut the Kiki Jiki. It's a little tough. Once she plays against them, I'm actually good at out grinding them. So I'll keep 2. I don't love it against Shadow, but I think it's good enough to take one of their threats that it's fine. There's actually a chance I'm supposed to have a Warren Weirding. Yeah, let's do that. I'll bring back in Kiki, I guess. Alright, looks like they decided on a sideboard. Here we go. We'll play first. Yeah, I think this hand's fine. It's obviously pretty bad if this gets dealt with, but they're going to have a hard time putting a threat in play. Gurmag would be good, but I have most of the other stuff dealt with, and this can still kill a Gurmag. I'm going to play this tap. It's pretty unlikely they play a 1-drop. Alright, I feel like my Snoop will die here if I play it. Honestly, don't hate just playing an Agadeem's tapped here. I think that's the best play. I'm still probably not going to get to use my mana, but I do save life on this, and I don't let them kill my Snoop. They might have something here, obviously, that they can use their mana, like a Thought Scour, you know, like a Cling to Dust. I don't know why they would have left Cling in against me. Maybe because thinking Agadeems? I don't know. They probably won't. Assume it's just like a Thought Scour. Yep, that makes sense. Alright, I actually do like it that they mill Shadow and Angler. It's less threats I need to deal with, and this hand is actually good at killing their threats. If this one's playing like the Skyclave Shade, then this doesn't really matter, but if they only have 8 threats, that's fine. Feels like Gurmaggio here. Cycle Street Wraith? Okay. I would actually be fine with a Shadow. They have like the double Shadow hand. That's actually like, kind of excellent for me. And they milled the Shadow. Alright, they got the Shadow. Fair enough. Alright, and they might have a stub here. It would be annoying to trade it, but they probably shouldn't have stub in against me post-board. It's not very good. Alright, take it. Alright, what we draw on here? Land would be excellent. Alright, I'll take it. I do imagine my Snoop will get killed, but it's fine. I do need to play this at some point, and waiting just means it's going to get Thoughtseize, so there's not like a huge incentive to do that. Alright, drawing Bloodstained Mire is not ideal, but it's not terrible either. Alright, Snoop actually lived. That's very good for me. Do we have more Shadow, or is this like a K command, get back a Shadow? Would not be surprised to see a K command here. Obviously, I would like Snoop to live. Get 2 cracks at a Goblin off the top, that'd be excellent. I think it's pretty unlikely this one lives, though. And it did not. And they get a Blood Chief's Thirst. Ugh, that's actually not great for me at all. But if they play a Gurmag, I will still have an answer to it. Or if they Shadow, I mean, I have an answer to either. I do need to hit a Ringleader here pretty quick, though, or I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Alright, they played the Shadow. I mean, that's their 3rd Shadow. Probably means they have a Gurmag still, but if they don't, I'm in a pretty good spot. I've used a little over 3 minutes. Opponent's on 11. Agadeems would actually be a good draw, though. We put a Snoop in play. Certainly better than drawing a land would be. Is this the Gurmag? Did we wait long enough that we... Plague Engineer? Oh boy, that is awful for me. Don't really know how I'm beating this. And 2 of my Blood Chief's Thirsts are gone. I need to draw X2's stat. The Goblin Chieftain would be good, though. It would let me kill this, which would be sick. If I could hit a Chieftain. Chieftain? No. Land. I think I'm going to keep thinning. I'm going to hold the mountain here for Kolaghan's command. I would like to protect this munitions expert. Might get Thoughtseize though, that could happen. Alright, well, I can play it. And it dies, or it can get taken. Either way, I am on empty. Magmatic Channeler, interesting. So this deck has way more threats than I thought. Graven Cairns, huh? That's not a very good draw. Well, this is not a good way to beat Shadow. Keep, what, 2 land. I had 2 lands, Munitions Expert. Yeah, I just have drawn a land every draw set for the entire game. It's kind of unfortunate. And they hit a K command. I mean, that's fine, but I just have so little going on that it's just, like, definitely not backbreaking. Obviously, I would like my land. I imagine they're going to bring back Shadow and make me discard. Seems like the logical place to go here. Could do 2 damage, too. Making me discard seems much better, though. Not that I have anything good. I could have had X1s. I mean, that would be something that was in my hand, but... Alright, don't really see how I win this game. Probably am not going to. If I am going to win, it probably starts with Ringleader here. I don't think anything else is really even going to give me a shot. Okay. I don't think it saves me by any means, but it's one of the best draws I had. And we hit Munitions Expert and Chieftain, so we're kind of in the game. Certainly still not winning, but kind of in the game. Opponent has a huge attack next turn, which is pretty unfortunate. And I am just dead to TBR. But I can kill the Plague Engineer. They only have 2 cards. Obviously, they would get to look at 2 more with this if they wanted to, but then I don't have to necessarily block. And I would like to not block here, because then my attack gets much better. I don't know. I think my chances of winning this game are pretty low, but in terms of like what happened last turn, it was about as good as I could have hoped for. Alright, did we do the, like, go in the tank and then come out with I'm going to Team or Battle Rage and kill you line again? Oh, well, that works too. And this is exactly lethal. Alright. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I think this hand's a keep. It's not a great hand, but I do get a Vial in play on turn 1, and I have a lot to do with it. It definitely needs to draw lands, but we have 23 more in the deck. Decently likely to draw a few. Alright, against Tower, I would not have kept this, I don't think. But here we are. Could be E-Tron. Opponent kept 7-2 in Tron. That's not good for me at all. And we have another Vial. Well, if opponent doesn't have a way to kill my Vials, I think I'm in good shape. If they have like an O-Stone or a Karn, I'm certainly going to lose. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The 4-mana Karn. I could maybe beat a 7-mana Karn. Still probably won't, but I could maybe beat it. We got 3 Vials. I mean, I'm going to put them in play. This gives me the best chance against Big Karn. I actually have combo pretty quick here. I can set it up next turn. I mean, O-Stone or 4-mana Karn. 4-mana Karn is an absolute disaster. Okay. Don't think I can beat that. Yeah, I mean, I need to put my thing in play. Great Creator was almost the worst thing I could have seen against with the 1-land Aether Vial hand. And attacking this is going to be next to impossible. Because I just cannot cast stuff. Minusing gives me a shot, though. If I draw land, I actually could win this game. Oh, wait. No, yeah, they get a Spyglass and I just lose. Alright, I am actually just way dead. Well, that was about as good as they could have possibly asked for. Just 7 with the main deck hate piece for my draw. Kind of frustrating. Alright, let's get all of these out of here. Bloodchief's Thirst actually isn't... Nope, I want the Duress. Where'd it go? I want the Thoughtseize. Alright. Prospector might actually be good. I think I can cut down on some Munitions Experts. And I'm going to trim an Agadeem. This just does not feel like an Agadeem matchup. Alright, I mean, I have a Vial and a Cleansing Wildfire. I do think this is a keep. We'll see how it actually plays out, but I do think it's a keep. I was going to say, they just have to be going to second main, right? There's no way. Okay. I'm going to wait on the shock. Obviously I could, but no huge need to. I am going to get rid of this now. Okay, Snoop's actually a very good draw. That means I have lethal 2 turns from now. An opponent can't get Tron before then, so they need like an actual kill spell to break this up. I will put in my Prospectaire. Ooh, another Snoop is actually very good. This lets me play around a kill spell here, so I'm going to play Snoop over either of the other things, and then Violent a Snoop end of turn. Another Snoop on top. Okay, I guess I should have started by Violent it in. Oh, missed an attack there. I don't think that's going to matter, but definitely should have attacked. Is Power Plant what I killed? Okay, so they got one I killed already, so they don't necessarily have Tron, but again, it's pretty likely they tap out for something. Could be a Sylvan Scrying here. I mean, they're dead if they do. Yep, alright, we got him. We got him. Oh, I didn't even put in the other one, but it doesn't matter. Game's over. Either way. Want Kiki Jiki. Let's move Kiki up there. So we need 20 guys. It's fine. All right, let's get Sling Father. Still don't like me having to click through this when I'm clearly have lethal and opponents tapped out and getting drained to death, but here we are. And they're dead. Straight to 40 life. Beautiful. Alright, Cleansing Wildfire looked quite good there. Yep, gonna keep the same configuration. I am owed one Mulligan to Oblivion from Tron here, so they're gonna do that for me real quick, and then we'll be all set. Yeah, Cleansing Wildfire on the draw is nice, because you just, I mean, I guess I could have a Prospector in the Moon start, but this hand's close. It has a Vial, so I do think I'm supposed to keep it, but I could really get boned for this hand. We'll find out, though. Alright, they mulligan to 4. That's good for me. Told you I was owed one mulligan to Oblivion. We'll take it. Kept 4, though. And lead on Tron. Tron map. That's pretty good for them. I mean, if they have, like, Tron into something powerful, I'm still going to lose. This is not a premium hand against Tron, and they do have Tron. Alright, was not really looking for third Matron there. And the things I was looking for, that was not very high on the list. So Karn would be a disaster. Big Karn. Little Karn also mostly a disaster. Alright, that's horrible for me. Sorcerer's Spyglass. It's pretty annoying that I can name Bloodstain Mire and completely lock me out of this game. But if I draw a land, I'm in a good spot. If they just name Vial anyway, I'm still in a pretty good spot. I mean, not a great spot, but at least a winnable scenario. I guess they could also name Snoop. They might name Kiki Jiki. That would actually be the best thing this Kiki ever did. Just trick my opponent into naming it. I think they're 100% supposed to name Bloodstainmire here. And I'm getting punished for not fetching on turn 1, but still think it was right. Alright, what are we naming? Looks like they finally made a decision and are typing. Maybe? Conspicuous Snoop. Okay. I mean, this is not the best spot I've ever been in, but I at least have a shot. They're letting me cast my spells, which is very kind of them. Okay, I don't think Skirk really does very much. I do think I'm supposed to attack Karn so they can't get a Ballista here. That would be a disaster for me. And they don't necessarily have good other spells in hand. They might. They might have kept like an O-Stone or an Ugin. And I would probably die to those things, but I mulled to 4. They only have 2 cards. It's totally possible they have some random stuff that doesn't do very much. And then I will get to kill Karn, which would be excellent. They might have to cycle through some baubles or something. They could have other lands. You could also have 7 mana Karn, which would just end the game on the spot. Wormcoil Engine is bad for me, but it is beatable at least. The Skirk actually is really good for that. Land would be amazing here. Can we draw a land? Why, deck? Why? Not like this. So, think I'm supposed to Sling-Gang? And I'm going to have a hard time no matter what this game, I think. Sling-Gang seems good. I have to get Karn off the table. I have to chump attack and let them gain a bunch of life, but I don't know. I think I'm forced into this. Really wish I had had a Prospector, or another land there for Prospector. I got to save my Lord, which I feel like is going to be kind of important in this game, but I at least need to use my Aether Vial now, which is pretty big. They didn't even block? What? Why no blocks? That doesn't make any sense to me. So they're going to get in a big hit here, certainly, but it's not the end of the world for me. And their last turn was good, but not spectacular. Okay, 7 mana Karn would be a pretty big disaster again. Walking Bliss is also just not very good for me at all, for being honest. Okay. Yep, hate it. Not gonna block. Still hating my spot. I don't even think I have a way to kill this. I guess I have Munitions Expert, which I should get. So otherwise, I think I'd like way die. Yeah, I have to get a Munitions Expert here. The game, I think, is just over on the spot. And I have a bunch of tutors, so it's not like the end of the world. Ooh, his Agadeem's good. I don't really think so. I mean, Actually, no, I'm short of black. I don't think it's bad, though. I don't think it's bad. Alright, we have to kill this Ballista, or I do think the game ends on the spot. But we can mostly neutralize Wormcoil now because Sling-Gang's quite good against it. Alright. I also do think I'm at a spot where it's right to play Chieftain. And I'm not going to play the Agadeems. I think because I have the Prospector, or I mean it's right to play the Prospector. Because I have the Prospector, I can actually Agadeems next turn if I draw a black source. Alright, Karn Liberated is not great for me either. So, what are we doing? Probably just sacking it to itself. I think the bodies are going to be important. The drain is going to be tough. This looks like a game where I'm going to need to Agadeems. I'm going to block. And then sack. I do think I'm supposed to tick Kiki up. Or tick Vile up so I can Kiki. Alright, not quite the black source we were looking for. What am I trying to do here? Gonna name Goblin. Hit OK. Think I'm going to put this in and ring lead. Although, yeah, it's got to be ringleader. I'm going to get ringleader. And now we actually get to kill Karn here, which is great. And I guess attack them. I can even kill the Wormcoil. I could do it now. I think I'd rather do it on their turn so they don't get to attack. This feels like it could be a Ugin. Obviously, Eugene would be terrible for me, but they might only minus for like a little bit, and then it would be like, okay. Are we like beast withining something? Wilt my vial. Well, it wasn't going to do anything after this activation anyway, so here we are. Do you think I'm supposed to copy Munitions Expert? And let's get rid of this Wormcoil engine. Alright, Cavern's looking pretty bad with this Agadeem. Unfortunately. But I think we're supposed to ring lead here. It's a pretty easy ring lead, try and get some value. Alright, we get another ringleader. I do like the idea of copying my token. If they want to kill it, that's fine. And I get to kill the Death Touch one, I guess. They're basically the same thing. Lifelink's probably better, right? They both have Death Touch against my things, so I think that's fine. And then I will sacrifice this, and sacrifice this, and play my Matron. Not entirely sure what I'm supposed to get here. Probably Chieftain. And I will attack with everything. I don't really care about them dealing 3 damage to me here. They're going to get to eat my ringleader, but that's fine. It actually could be smart for them to hit Prospect. I was probably not supposed to attack with this, but them hitting ringleader is fine. Ancient Stirrings. That could be bad for me, depending what they hit. Karn Liberated. That's beatable. I would not say it's great for me by any means, but it is beatable. Alright, let's sack Kiki for some manas. Black Source would be an insane draw. Black Source would be an insane draw. Black Source? Cleansing Wildfire. So not a Black Source, but also not bad. Let's get the tower out of here. Nope, I didn't want to do that. See if we can hit a Black Source. I can still Agadeems if I do hit the Black Source, because of Skirk here. Alright, Vial's not spectacular by any means. I do think I'm supposed to use my mana, though. Attack Karn, attack Karn, attack you, attack you. Yep, that's fine. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't kill Karn? Oh, that was horrible. That was not good. Well, we're going to pitch the Aether Vial to Karn, I guess. I just did not do math there, and I would have thrown. They at least don't... Oh, they just still have Tron. Perfect. Gotta love it when you hit the one that they draw immediately. I guess maybe they don't have that much to do with it. Well, that's at least good for me. Still in a spot where Agadeems would be insane. Okay. Munitions Expert's actually, I think, good enough that I want to Agadeems, but let's... Or I want to play Agadeems, but let's see what this ringleader hits. Alright. That's fine. I am just going to Agadeems now. Let's get this worm out of here. Finally kill Karn. Wait, is this lethal? I'm 1 point short, right? 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Yeah. Lame. So we'll attack Karn. I'll attack Karn, attack you, attack you, attack you, attack you, attack you. Yep. Oh no, I just had lethal. That was stupid. I forgot this had haste. Oh my god, that was bad. I think we'll be okay, but that was not good. I don't know if that does it. Ensnaring Bridge, they just die to me sacking Chieftain, right? Unless they can play the other card in their hand. If it's like a land, it's pretty bad for me. Okay. They just cast Veil of Summer. Fair enough. So I just need Sling-Gang and they die. Although, I would immediately draw the Black Source the second I can't use this anymore, and I have the Sling-Gang in my graveyard too, so holding the Agadeem one more turn would have been insane. Okay. Not entirely sure I can get out of this. Do I have a draw that works here? I think I just have to put Ringleader on top of my deck. I think it's like the only thing, like the only reasonable play here. I can't, if I show them Sling-Gang and they get another Spyglass or Pithing Needle and Sling-Gang me, I'm just going to die. Ringleader gives me the best shot. Yeah, I'm going to Ringlead. Let's hope this works. Not boarding in my... Missing lethal was atrocious, and then also not boarding in my guy that kills artifacts was also really bad. Oblivion Stone? Oh, that's absolutely horrible for me. I guess it makes Snoop kind of a card. Is paying for this worth it? Probably. So, definitely supposed to cast this, even though it stinks. Because if it hits Sling-Gang, I win. We hit exactly Snoop. That is not good at all. That is very, very not good. Snoop does have haste. I think I'm supposed to second main this and actually just play it. None of my stuff does anything, so... I'm definitely going to sack this one. And... probably... I have 2 munitions in play already. Yeah, I'll sack another munitions. Play this. Gives me a shot. It's not... God damn it. Alright. Well, we missed lethal and we got mega punished for it. But if they use this here and they don't put something... Alright, they... Okay. Well... Again, I'm not going to say this is ideal for me, but I at least kind of have a shot. Making the star a creature, interesting. Good old Cleansing Wildfire, huh? They do have a card in their hand. I can force the pop of the Oath Stone here, which kills their Karn at least. I think I'm supposed to, because I don't know how else I'm winning this game. Alright. I mean, they are definitely going to pop the stone here. They are just forced into it. But I then have a 1/1 in a Cleansing Wildfire, which could beat Bridge if they kind of run out of stuff. I don't know. This is not good for me by any means, but I at least... Are they letting the damage happen? There's no way, right? Okay. I was gonna say, there's just no chance that's happening. So they do get to draw a card, which is annoying. But Snoop works now, so I guess I have that going for me. And Sling-Gang is lethal. I do get a redraw next turn. I get the cleansing. If this is Ulamog, that's probably game, but maybe not. Maybe I can beat it. Ugin, I think, like 100% kills me. Karn? Karn's beatable. This is not good for me, but it is beatable. And I got Worm Coil, which doesn't really beat anything I'm about to do, so I guess I'm in a good spot. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm in a great spot, but I have a shot. And Agadeem's would be an insane draw, if I could get there. Alright, let's see what the wildfire brings me. Duress. Well, that's not very good. I'm gonna lose that to Karn, but it doesn't do anything anyway, so probably fine. They are also in a spot now where they can't cast their Worm Coil. Oh, alright. Well, never mind. That thing's... What? They hit my Agadeems? Don't really agree with that. That's fine. Alright, those are pretty bad. Just gonna keep passing until we draw something. The Worm Coil can't attack, which is actually like pretty good for me. Oh my god. Mono Thoughtseizes. Emrakul and All Is Dust. Well, the All Is Dust I don't really care about. Emrakul, probably too good. I can hit the All Is Dust at some point if I want to. I guess I should have taken it now. Alright, so now they can All Is Dust again. Still not attacking anytime soon. Oh, Snoop is an excellent, excellent draw. Let's start the turn with Mr. Snoopy. Nope, don't want to concede. For the wrong mana. This is actually wrong. I'm supposed to do it like this. Oh, we have Agadeem's Awakening next turn for 3. That doesn't quite kill them, but it's pretty good. What do I have in the graveyard? I've got a Skirk, Munitions. I can Matron for Sling-Gang, and this is lethal. Okay. So, they probably have to get Blasts on here. No. Ah! Just have Sling-Gang on top of the deck and just not worry about anything. Alright, so we actually get a kill with the Agadeems. That's pretty sick. Definitely the Skirk. guess the Wogmore Marshal. And... Wait, what? Yeah, I can't... It's highlighting the expensive ones, but I can't get them. I guess Matron's okay. So I'm definitely supposed to sack... all the abilities on the stack here and just have lethal. Got him. All right. So Agadeem's look kind of sweet at the end there. I don't know how good it actually is, but it looked good there. I'll take it. So overall, I'm not going to say this was an amazing showing from Goblins, although I did lose to Plague Engineer and sort of Fire and Ice in my 2 matches, which are pretty good against my deck. I think there was some questionable boarding. I don't think I like the Bloodchief's Thirst that event, although I do feel like they're good in the meta right now just because of how many Monastery Swiftspears are around. Yeah, I don't know. This deck, I love Goblins. I'm a big fan of it, but it doesn't feel well positioned. It feels like there's just more powerful things to be doing. And we didn't even see an Omnath, which I imagine is really tough for this deck, although the combo does help. But yeah, I don't know how good the Agadeems actually were. They seem really good in theory. It's like a cool way to build Goblins, but yeah, I don't think they were actually great. It was cool to get a win with them at the end. I do think it's powerful to have them, but I'm not sure it's worth the weird mana, like with the Graven Cairns. You have less caverns, sketchier mana base. It does cost a lot of life too, which probably is hurting the prowess matchup overall. But cool idea. Definitely worth something to considering if you're playing Goblins going forward. So yeah, I think that was a cool league. Remember, thanks everyone for watching. If you like the content I'm making here, I'd really appreciate it if you like the video, leave comments on the channel, subscribe, all of that. It really helps me grow, helps me keep doing this. So thanks everyone again for coming by, and with that, we'll talk to you next time.